So it seems like some of you are a little bit pissed off over the reports that Grand Theft Auto 6 could cost somewhere between $80 and $100 when it launches. But for those of you that don't know, let me explain something to you. You might think the current price tag of $70 for a brand new AAA first-party game is expensive. But back when I was growing up in the 80s and early 90s, this was very, very common. And I think a lot of the younger generation don't know this. And a lot of my generation maybe forgot. Now I know what you're saying. The reason those games were priced the way they were is because of the components used in the cartridge. And that's correct. Some of those cartridges at the time utilized more memory, more components, which actually physically made it more expensive. So why are digital games now more expensive? Well, let's play devil's advocate real quick and let's point out that we're not even talking about inflation. These games were $80 in the 80s and they're $70 today. Pretty sure $80 in the 80s is well over $100 by today's standards. Now, the argument that we were paying for physical hardware back then is valid, but let's have a little thought experiment for a second. Back in 1989, if digital technology were where it's at today, don't think for just a second that game developers and game studios wouldn't have released their games in that manner. The only reason we got stuff physically is because it was the only delivery method that was available. Not to mention time frames, team sizes, and overall development costs are drastically different now than they were 30 years ago. Now I know this is a hot button issue and it's likely to piss some people off, and I'm sort of just playing devil's advocate. But the next time you think $70 is a lot to spend on a brand new AAA game, just remember that we paid $70 for Mortal Kombat 3 on the Super Nintendo. Now, while I would love to pay less for video games, this is a little thing that I like to call gamer accountability.